Hello and welcome to this latest edition of the CertiK KYC Leaderboard Showcase. I'm your host, Jesse. In this showcase, I host a project for a live AMA where we discuss their work with CertiK, their platform, what they're aiming to build, what problems they're solving in the Web3 industry, and the importance of KYC for project teams. A lot of people are familiar with KYC for themselves, for individuals, when you're signing up to an exchange or trying to use a Web3 application. But CertiK's KYC process is something a little bit different, where we actually do that identity verification for the teams that are working on Web3 platforms, so they can sort of demonstrate a level of commitment to their project, willingness to stand behind it publicly, which is very important when you're building protocols that are accepting millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in user funds. Just adds an extra level of trust, security in the industry, which is what we're all about here. So at CertiK, our goal is to raise the standards of security and transparency in the Web3 ecosystem. The KYC Leaderboard, found at skynet.certik.com, is a free tool to help you safely navigate the Web3 world. Today's featured project is Ommniverse. And to talk about it, who better than the CEO of Ommniverse, Dr. Byrne. How's it going? Nice to have you on today. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, hi, good evening.
Good evening to you as well. Heard you.
How are you doing? Good.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, how are you doing today? Good.
Doing very well. Glad to have you on. Glad to be discussing your project and the work that you do with CertiK. So, for those who are not familiar in the audience, could you just give a brief overview of Ommniverse, the platform's main objectives, and just what project are you building here?
Okay, fine. Okay, when we talk about Ommniverse, of course, we're going to talk about NFT. All right, when we talk about NFT, we wanted to create something which is good, which is reliable for the community. Any project which comes up, always we want that as a first priority, especially for Ommniverse, because we are planning to be the biggest and the largest marketplace player in the entire global. So to do that, of course, Ommniverse went through quite a number of R&D, research and development, consultations, and of course going through the trend and also the flow of the market, especially on the digital arts and the crypto. All right. So when we talk about that, and of course NFT, which was doing quite well early 2021 and so on, we decided to explore the non-fungible token to a different level, where the ownership of the NFT is eligible for quite a number of community who really wanted to be part of this technology revolution. When you talk about NFT and you talk about the existing players in the market who had this fungible token, which only the niche market was focusing into that with a big money and transactions and a lot of player which involved into that was not the ordinary people or ordinary community out there. Ommniverse decided to bring it to a next level. That's where we explored the protocol ERC 1155 to work along with ERC 721 to give the fractional NFT. All right, when we say fractional NFT is another benchmark. All right, fractional NFT is something which we believe the community out there is going to feel and enjoy a lot of benefits also there, because it's eligible for them to participate on the digital arts and collectible items and so on. So for that reason, Ommniverse explored the fractional NFT under the ERC 1155, which we feel that leveraging NFT to grant users direct ownership for their assets and also bringing the gap between the real assets or real and digital world together. So we want to be the bridging. If you want to be a bridging, then you need something which the public, the community, the user, the creator, and people in the market out there to feel the comfortability of the entire project. All right. For that, of course, when we talk about fractional NFT, of course, people out there normally the first thing which comes into their mind of the gas fees are talking about the speed of transaction, because even the existing platform which runs under the Ethereum, the full NFT. All right, we're talking about that under the ERC 721 also takes a number of gas fees and the time of transaction and all that. The question mark was, will this fractional NFT make it worse, or is it going to be a burden again? But it's not. All right, it's not, because of the Polygon blockchain which we are using it, and also a few other technically which we have implemented for this project have shown the gas fees are much more cheaper, and also the transaction of each which involves instructions NFT seems to be fast and good. So for that reason, Ommniverse was born. Okay, Ommniverse was born around early of this year, to give the public, the users, and also the creator, the art lovers out there, something different for them to feel, to enjoy, to explore. And for that, we are here in the market. And of course, we feel so proud today that CertiK is giving us a time, a break, giving us opportunities to share whatever Ommniverse have done, doing, and going to do in future. Back to you, man.
Great, thank you. And you mentioned a number of interesting things there. So obviously the ERC 721 token standard is the NFT token standard. You also mentioned ERC 1155, which is a multi-token standard. Could you just talk a little bit more about how you integrate that into Ommniverse, what functionality that gives you and your users?
You see, when you talk about ERC 1155, talking about fractional NFT means the ownership of fractional NFT now eligible for the entire world. All right. When once upon a time, when we use ERC when we use ERC 721, all right, the investment was locked into a big risk factor where a big investment falls into a single NFT, and then it's only eligible for certain communities out there who love digital arts and also the colored item. But when we talk about fractional and the new protocol ERC1 at the layer 2, what happens is the Polygon Matic itself have created a good platform for us to explore the ERC 1155. All right, so the fractional NFT has given a good welcome, because now anyone affordable to involve in this technology. What happens is when we come out with the technologies or any part of revolution, when we talk on digital arts or any digital transformation, we call it that, we must always have this in mind, especially for the developers and the company out there. Whatever we create, it has to be useful. It has to be something where the entire world can enjoy it, involve with it, and also give a good remark on that. For that reason, fractional NFT have opened up the market in a different way. It has opened up the market with a lot of opportunities, and also a lot of big visions, especially for the creators and the investors and so on, because the platform itself is giving a good positive welcome out there.
Okay, great. And I mean, so you mentioned Ommniverse is a relatively new project. How did you get into crypto and the blockchain industry? What attracted you? What made you want to build this platform?
Actually, if you ask me, BTC have attracted a lot of people from past era when Bitcoin was there in the market. Everyone wanted to buy, wanted to trade, wanted to do it. I'm involved in that investment, so I was not left behind. I was part of the investor and part of traders out there who felt crypto will be the next the revolution maker. All right, and of course we are involved in some forex and being a system developer in original. All right, I was the software developing company we were running before this, and being a consultant for a lot of projects, especially on DeFi and also on this digital asset. Something which pulls the string between us and the entire business world was to cater something for people. That's what I said. We have created something to cater to the community. We wanted to give back to the community something which we have learned in past, including the good things and the bad things, means the failure, the success, before the post-pandemic, after post-pandemic. All these have created a new revolution for us, especially for me and my entire team, to give something which is useful for people out there. So being a trend maker for the new generation who loves on digital arts, who start to love in esports, they start to show the involvement in gaming and all that, then we start to think about leveraging the NFT to a different part of the world, especially on using it on certain ecosystem, which will be very useful in terms of transparency, talking about the stability of the entire system and so on. So all these make me to feel that the past experience, the team which we have been working along on R&D, especially on the NFT part, because the CTO which involved in this project, Dr. Brian Chu, they have tried of using NFT in their Winter Olympics to see whether the ticketing part can be used and whether it's any was a very successful project. We have involved into that. Then after that, we start looking into many angles to check with industry players. Because you see, before we wanted to implement Ommniverse into the market, we had a lot of R&D done, because the feedback from the floor is always needed before we go into the market. We are not a champion all the time. So for that, for the past 1-2 years, we've been discussion been going on. We've been calling a lot of market players, industry players to discuss on how does the NFT works and how does the ecosystem can be implemented with the proper mechanisms and the proper blockchains and all that, whether it's involved, of course, we're talking about on security part and talking about the accessibility and talking about the utilities and so on. So all these have encouraged me and my entire team with the proper management. Okay, the proper management is another part. Without this proper management, Ommniverse wouldn't have traveled so far within a short time of period to be one of the promising platform for the entire world. Outside, we have the fantastic CTO with us, Dr. Brian Du from Korea, and the NFT and ST security token, which will be involving into these real estates and real assets projects. So, and also having other team members which we have collected and we have invited to be part of us, especially on the marketing part. Our marketing plays a crucial part because we need to deliver a proper knowledge, a proper identity of the company, and also the project needs to the public. We have Dr. Brian Lee, the expert on marketing, and been working with FinTech and few other companies who've been a trainer, motivator. Because as what we believe in Ommniverse, knowledge is the wealth. Knowledge is the wealth because knowing the market is so fragile, having so much issues out there, especially on the fraudulence, we're talking about scammers, talking about failure issues with happening. Actual education and knowledge needs to be given. The education was our first priority. The knowledge was our first priority too. So for that, we have selected the best speaker and also trainer to be a part of the company, the organization chart, so that he can deliver, he can pass the message in a proper manner, so that the community out there will understand more about Ommniverse, to get involved with the mindset, with a positive mindset, with a mentality of trying to involve something which is good, is what they've been looking all this while, and that's how actually the entire process been developed until today for Ommniverse.
Okay, great. And you mentioned earlier in this chat that you want to become the biggest NFT marketplace. Obviously, there's some competition there. So, what are the benefits of the Ommniverse platform? What benefits for creators and for users as well?
Actually, it's a good question. You see, when we want to see, we wanted to tell that we want to be the best, should have some elements which is supporting that too. All right, being a player, when we have Ommniverse as a marketplace where fractional NFT and full NFT, right, ERC 221, 721, and ERC 1155 works together in our platform, it's going to create a lot of opportunity for creators. All right, when we say that, we create a lot of opportunities. The NFT which is created, they can be traded in other platforms, other marketplaces, and other marketplace people can be start working on our Ommniverse marketplace. So you can see that it's not going to be only one option of talking about people involved on 721. All right, when you talk about 721 and also talking about 1155, we're talking about vast market. We're talking about a big market of people need to involve into it. It's going to take some time, yeah, because as what I said that. Being the best in the market is always not an overnight job, all right? It's not going to be happening by saying it here, but we need to work on that. So that is why we start exploring in more knowledge delivery, on getting more curators on board, getting some quality concepts and products on board to support the entire ecosystem. And also we are trying to speak to the industrial place. That's why I said a lot of things are happening to make sure the strength of the marketplace which we are creating should be or must be the best for catering the entire community who needs to utilize it very well. All right, for that reason, Ommniverse itself have created a good platform. All right, it has a lot of utilities, especially on what you call that, on voting rights. We're talking about the accessibility of entering into it. All right, the what do you call that? To put it simple, that the entire platform was created to cater with more flexibility way of getting into the entire NFT world and also the fractional NFT world.
Okay. And so when it comes to security, obviously we're a security company. Let's touch on security a little bit. How do you consider, what do you think about when you're designing your platform, when you want it to be secure? What are some of the considerations that you took into account when building Ommniverse, both pre-development, before deployment, and post-deployment as well?
Of course, what important is especially the KYC. All right, KYC was needed. Okay, KYC was needed to make things better. All right, and also we talk about the smart contract. All right, smart contract always issue a very crucial part where everyone needs to know how does it works and how strong is it. The developers, especially, working into that. So for that reason, certification was needed. All right, certification was needed for us is because it's very important for the community's engagement. All right, we can talk a lot of things out there that we're going to be the best, we're going to be strong, but who's going to certify that? Who's going to make sure that what we are saying that is reliable? So for that, why I think that KYC is very important for the community engagement in various contexts, especially blockchain development projects, inclusive for especially for the Ommniverse, what do you call that, the NFT project. Of course, we talk about regulatory compliance, for example. Only we talk about money launderings, the fraud. How do we avoid this so that we have a very good legal boundaries, all right, to operate within the process of what we wanted to give. And of course, in terms of security, all right, the KYC helps us to reduce the risk. All right, the risk of the participations, people are involved into our project. All right, so this is also a part of what we were working on to make the security, to enhance the security for all the participants in the market out there. All right, so other than that, of course, we're talking about anti-money laundering. All right, we were involved into that and trying to make sure that that part is taken care well, because that becomes a major concern of the people out there now recently. All right, to protect the project and also the project, the community, also to protect the members itself. All right. So the developers have been working so hard to work on these things, especially on the KYC, because KYC makes us to give us more confidence. KYC gives us more confidence for the people out there to involve, because the trend now is that everyone starts to love NFT. Everyone wants to involve into that, but again, how strong is a smart contract? How reliable is it? That's where the CertiK certification was also needed to certify us. Because of course, all these also will be very helpful in many ways. All right, on especially on the digital wallet regulation, and also we've been giving a lot of knowledge to people. You see, choosing a proper digital wallet, all right, which integrates with Ommniverse and whatever blockchains we have. Especially, we've been telling people to use MetaMask, for example. All right, so all these informations need to be delivered. All right, okay, all this information is needed to be delivered, and proper way is needed to deliver all this. Then education, the knowledge distribution is needed from our side. All right, so these are the main part. We're talking about the copyrights and the licensing part. We're talking about the blockchains, the smart contracts, reliability, especially on auditing the smart contracts, and also the digital wallet part of the integration. And of course, we talk about token. We do talk about token clarification, especially the FT, NFT, and ST, how does it works and all that. So we don't want to make it so complicated for people. We want to make sure the layman out there can understand. That's why we've been doing a lot of write-ups on this on social media, so that they will understand how crucial and how important security is needed, and Ommniverse is taking into it, looking into it, and taking high options. I mean, having a high priority to make sure that every inch and every single of the technical part, the security part, especially on the KYC, is taken care all the time.
Cool. Appreciate the very detailed overview of that there. And you mentioned security reviews as well as KYC, and I think the KYC is a good one to talk about a little bit. So KYC for teams, which you have undergone, earned your KYC badge, meaning the team has been had their identities verified through a very rigorous process. That gives the community a whole lot of confidence that you are who you say you are, that you are standing publicly behind your platform, that you believe in it, that you are identifiable. Obviously, there are anonymous platforms out there, but this just provides an extra level of security. And security is not just a security review. It's not just KYC. It's not just Skynet with its on-chain monitoring and risk monitoring. It's all those things together. So the more you add, the greater the levels of security that you build up. So I think it's really important that you're providing that to your community. And how was that KYC process for you? If you can speak a little bit about it. Not all the audience members will know exactly how it works, but was it a very in-depth process? How was that for you?
You see, basically, like what you have mentioned earlier, the KYC is not only about the system, it's not about the entire way of making people to trust you, but actually the involvement of the management is very important. I would love to take this point as the main criteria to get certified or to get public. The community, all right, to have trust on a project which is out there for them. And then again, of course, we saw we witnessed ourselves, a lot of projects out there have been giving a negative remark due to the KYC itself, all right? So for that reason, we have the entire team involved into Ommniverse. They are real people, the people with vast experience, the people who have proper education, proper trainings, and proper qualifications, and they are there developing projects together, especially from the developer side, from the marketing side, from the operation side. They involving every single movement which Ommniverse is start to arrange or been arranging all this while. So all this was certified, been trained, been audited by the CertiK. All right. Of course, CertiK was not a joke. CertiK's auditing was quite tough in a sense that what they have done was good. What they have done is good because we managed to learn. We managed to progress ourselves. We managed to upgrade our quality, especially on the smart contracts, as well, and also the other preparation to face the community and also to develop the project to make it better, stronger, reliable. All right, being very transparent, being a useful product for the public out there. So for that, we've been certified through the KYC, which they have done it, interview, which they have done it for me. Regarding on the developer side, they need to get proper developers who can do immediate changes or immediate amendment or any development related to the smart contracts amendment which is needed to make sure that the smart contract is reliable, the smart contract is strong, all right, especially from the bugs or from the hacker side. And we've got a bounty bugs on that, and a lot of things. That's why I said that Skynet alone is not something that can convince the people there, but the existence of the management in the real world have been very helpful for this certification. And all this process went through few months to check. Even recently, CertiK also been doing again a check, a rundown on the management, whether we are still exist. Or only for the show on the earlier stage when we started to be when we applied to involve in this certification process. But they was quite happy that the same management is still around, and we are keep on moving around, and we are involved in social medias, and we are trying to give the best we could from the management level to deliver Ommniverse informations through the social media, from the blogs, from the content writings, and so on. All these social medias are very, very much active, and a lot of talk shows we've been going on, a lot of interviews. So all this was done by Ommniverse management. It was not hired outsiders to do, especially on social media marketing and so on. Everything was going on very well. Everything was going on very well, and we were, what do you say? Very much satisfied with the way CertiK have handled the Ommniverse certification, and also myself. They was very professionally handling us with a proper guidance and also feedbacks and so on. So quite tough, but was okay because CertiK was very what do you call that, friendly, and they were very much helpful for us to be today with the KYC Gold Badge award, which we recently got it, and that's a good outcome from Ommniverse, and the credit goes for the entire team, from the management, from the developers, from the community, and also from the response which we got from the social media, where people start to talk, people start to write, people start to involve into Ommniverse, even though we are still a baby, still an infant in the market. All right, but the much of progress we've been showing, I think CertiK's a gold badge, one of the proof, or one of the what do you call that, award for us to feel proud, and we need be growing better on next outcome projects and so on.
That's good to hear. I'm glad you, as you said, tough but fair, and I think that's the way you want to do it when it comes to KYC identity verification and the identification of vulnerability or potential vulnerabilities in smart contracts. You want to pick everything up. You want to accurately classify the potential serious severity of the vulnerability, and then you want to remediate it, and that way you know that things are being done the right way. And it's good to hear that you mentioned that we reached back out after the initial KYC verification, just to make sure. We have published some research on KYC actors, where a project can hire some actors for the sort of initial verification, who then get their money, disappear. But obviously the follow-up ensures that you guys haven't done that. You guys are sticking around. That's why you get the KYC Gold Badge, which is the highest level of KYC verification that we offer. So we're coming up close to time now, but I believe you have some questions for your community. If we want to get into that, otherwise there are, is that, you want to go ahead and do that?
Actually, since we are short of time, but I would like to announce. I might just want to announce some new things which is happening with Ommniverse, which we'll be announcing soon during our first anniversary of this, what do you call that, Ommniverse. All right, we've been working on a big ecosystem. A big ecosystem is going to be talk of the town very soon. All right, when talk earlier, I have mentioned about ST. All right, when I talk about ST, of course, as what I say, we are in NFT, and we're talking about NFT, and we're talking about ST. It's going to involve into the real assets. Talking about real estates involving between the virtual and real assets. All right, so all this bridging, all this reality is going to happen. All right, for that that product we're going to announce very soon. And talking about play and earn, which is the grab. That's the biggest market which people are gambling now out there for the new generation to involve into that. We're going to announce that we're going to launch a product, play and earn, very soon, by end of November or early December. All right. all this influence, and also talking about celebrity NFT. All right, we're going to do a celebrity NFT to involve in the entertainment industry based on what we have done so far, and that's getting a good welcome. So all this of NFTs which involve into that, they're going to be part of this ecosystem. All right, they're going to involve into that with OMI tokens, which are getting so stable in the market, with a good liquidity, which we are working on that, with it distributed in a very good way for the entire world's community. We want everyone to involve with it, at least with one fractional NFT, and involve in that the entire system which we are trying to work for them. All right, so I got no questions for them, but
I'm sure the community
seriously,
will
I
have
got questions to answer.
No, for sure. That's an exciting announcement. So I'm sure people will have some questions for that. Where can people find out more about Ommniverse, about your upcoming plans? What's the best way for people to follow along with the development of your project?
You see, when we started Ommniverse, this was a common questions everyone been asking. All right, the first common question they'll ask is how strong is your smart contract and your project. The second one is like what you just asked me regarding that, where can I find information? You see, that's why Ommniverse been focusing on education, knowledge. All right, to find these options and the informations and all that, we have our website Ommniverse.ai, where the entire informations, the smart contract is there. Sorry, the white paper is there, all the exchange, even the Omni token which is listed is there. All right, a lot of write-ups are there in social media, especially in Twitter, GitHub, Reddit, and all these things. We want them to follow up with us because we are trying to involve. We're doing a lot of language translations so that we can cater for the entire world. All right, it's not going to be only in English. We are trying to go into a community to a different level, different mindset for them to understand, accept Ommniverse revolutions, including, in bringing up the fractional NFT or NFT to the world, to them. We try to bring it near to them. But all this only can happen if they start following about it. They start reading about this. All right, for that, we have a big team. All right, we have a big team who are doing content write-ups. They're doing a lot of things, especially on information delivery. All right, so I would like them to join us in Ommniverse.ai. All right, follow up with all our social media write-ups, informations on latest products on it, and we have more announcements coming up soon. And Ommniverse.ai will be the best website which runs on Web3 for them to go through all the informations which we have. And please respond, because public's response always needed. When a project is developed, the project before we can deliver or on the way of delivering or is moving on, we need publics, we want communities to support us. All right, they can only support us by showing their interest into that, to know more. They can ask the questions there. The best part here is we answer. We are not, that's why I said the KYC was done with a proper management is for us to answer. We are not keeping quiet or making it as a board or getting someone to answer for us. No, everyone is answering, whether it's in Twitter, Instagram, or talking about Telegram, all right, in other places, in Medium and everywhere. So ask your questions there, all right? Questions is needed for us to go to, all right? Asking a question is always the best part for making someone to be better, for someone to grow. So we are welcoming that. All right, we are not trying to say that we are champion in the market, but we want to be the champion. All right, we want to be the champion. We wanted to be the best market player in the world, but we need this kind of ground support. So follow up with us in our social media. All right, and we are there to answer more questions there, because we have short of time here. So you can ask me questions there, and we will start answering based on the priority for the questions and so on. All right.
Okay, thank you very much. Great to hear that people can get in touch easily. You're very responsive, and I think that's a great way to get people involved, is to answer their questions and get them on the platform. So I really appreciate you coming on today, Dr. Byrne, and talking about Ommniverse, talking about the importance of KYC, the importance of security in the industry, and your ambitious plans. I wish you all the best, and we are very happy to work with you and secure your smart contracts and provide KYC verification. Any final words you'd like to leave the audience with?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I feel so glad and I feel so proud actually. We in Omniverse, we normally use the word we. We in Omniverse feel so proud because being part of CertiK's family too. All right, getting certified on someone from CertiK is something like we call it as a family. Someone who have that authority, someone have that rank in the entire digital community, or digital transformations which is happening, which needs a lot of transparency. All right, we need a lot of transparency, and this is where CertiK been playing a big role to make it happen, and getting us the gold badge for the performance which we've been showing. That's a good one, and we really been blessed for that, and we feel so happy and like to say thank you to CertiK for all these guidance and whatever they have done for us. And again, this is my humble request to the community out there who are the art lovers who want to be involved into NFT, especially being with us in Omniverse family. Please follow up with us with a proper way and get a proper guidance and be a very responsible player in the market, so that we'll have the best project on earth. All right, we'll have the best project for the community, which all this while people been waiting for it, especially on the ecosystem which we are playing. The ecosystem is not a joke. The ecosystem is not in paper. It's not just to show it as a white elephant. It's a reality. All right, a lot of people is going to involve into that, and everyone is waiting for that. I managed to get a lot of messages on that, and people are eager to get into Omniverse family and to explore, especially the creators. All right, go through the proper procedures. All right, and follow our official social medias. We might have some pranks, we might have some scams, and things are happening out there. All right, go through our original channel, go through our websites, go through. If anything need to be clarified, get straight to the management and get it clarified. You don't need a third party to clarify you, all right? Because this is a good project, and this NFT is the future. And fractional NFT, which we have introduced, is going to be the best revolution in digital arts and so on. Because it's not more, it's going to be only a digital arts or collectible item. It's beyond that, all right? We are here in Omniverse to show you beyond that, and it's going to happen very soon, all right? Thank you so much, and thank you to you too, Des, for the excellent time and interview you have conducted for us. And wish we can have another section to share more things on the next step of what we have developed and success after the. All right.
Great. Yeah, appreciate your time very much. Thank you for the description. Thank you for your chat about the community and everything we discussed. And yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody next time. Thank you.